my name is Mailynn and welcome back to my channel. I'm a flutist, performer, and music teacher located in the city of Kamloops, British Columbia, and this is my channel where we do all things flute. So thank you so much for joining me here today. In today's video, we're going to be learning the National Anthem of India called Jana Gana Mana. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. So if you're interested, then just keep on watching. As always, if you have any questions throughout the video, please feel free to drop them in the comment section down below. I do my best to answer them as soon as I see them. Also, if you have any issues when it comes to practicing, please feel free to check out my free practice guide, also located in the description down below. It gives you 8 really easy steps to follow to help you guide your practice sessions. Alright, so let's just get right into today's video. So as I previously mentioned, we will be learning the National Anthem of India, and I am taking this score from flutetunes.com today. Of course, the score will be linked in the description down below for you to download if you'd like. It is free, and I do find that there are also a lot of great selections there on flutetunes.com as well as 8 notes. So make sure if you're interested in looking at music to take a look at both those. Not sponsored or anything, I just really appreciate them having music available for all of us flutists. Alright, so I'm just going to put up the score right over here and we're going to go through our first 6 starter bits before we get into clapping, counting, and then finally playing it with the flute. So number 1, as always, we're going to be looking at our key signature. If you look in between the treble clef there and the time signature, you're going to see if we have any accidentals there, and I don't see any, so it probably suggests either C major or A minor. So let's take a look to confirm if it is either one of those keys. So we're going to look first at the first and the last note to see if you have any indication of the tonic of either of those key signatures. So we do start on a C, however we end on an F. So we're not quite sure if we're in C major. So we'll take a look and see if we can find any indications of A minor. So A minor is the relative minor. How you find that is you go down 3 letter names, so C, B, A, or alternatively you can also go up 6 letter names. Then what you're going to do is you're going to try and find the raised 7th primarily. So we're going to see if we can find any G sharps, and how you find that, of course, is you go down 1 semitone from the tonic. So A, if you go down 1 tone or 1 note on the keyboard, would be G sharp. And then alternatively, we're also going to be looking for that raised 6 as well, which is going to be F sharp. So if you look through the piece, we don't have any G sharps here, so there's no really strong indication of A minor either, but we do have a few F sharps here and there. So they're more like chromatic stepping, like a chromatic stepping motion, rather than necessarily suggesting a key signature. So I would say we're approximately in C major, maybe a C major mode or even an F major mode in there. So number 2 is our time signature. So we're going to take a look and we see that there's a C there, so that stands for common time. Common time is 4/4, so that means you have 4 quarter notes per measure. Just as a reminder, the top number on the 4 tells us how many beats we have per measure, so 4 beats per measure, and then the bottom number tells us what note type those beats are, and the 4 represents a quarter note. Number 3, we're going to be looking at our tempo indication. So here we have a quarter note equals 104 beats per minute. So when I clap and count and play it on the flute, I will be playing it at the final tempo. Of course, if you are practicing this and you're just getting introduced to the music, then I would highly recommend slowing it down to a tempo where you're not making very many mistakes or no mistakes at all. And then alternatively, you can also go back into the playback settings of the video and slow it down to help match that, so you can have the clapping and counting and the melody to go along with it. Number 4, we're going to be looking at our dynamics. So at a quick glance, we don't have too many dynamics. So at the beginning, we don't have anything written here. So I would recommend a mezzo forte or forte, so it's moderately loud to loud. And then at bar 13, we do have piano written there. So that means you definitely want to make sure that you come down in sound so that you have a nice gentle sound there. And then we come back to forte at bar 19. Alright, and then number 5, we are looking at our articulation. So at a quick glance, I don't see anything written above the note head, so no staccatos, mercatos, or slurs. So just making sure that every time you play a note that you have a nice supported breath behind it, so nice ha, and then when you are tonguing out at the very beginning, just a nice gentle tad, nothing too aggressive, just to make it nice and clear at the beginning. And then number 6, we're going to be looking at our roadmap. We're going to see if we can find any repeat signs or decapos, and I don't see anything here, so we're just reading it from top to bottom. Alright, so as I previously mentioned, now we're going to be clapping and counting, and again this is going to be at a quarter note equals 104. Before we do start playing this, however, I do want to make sure that you note that generally the rhythm is quite simple and quite repetitive. However, it does change at bar 21. On the 4th beat, we have an 8th note and 2 16ths together, so if you want to write in that rhythm, that would be 4, E, and then, so that would be for the 8th note, and then and A would be on the 2/16. So 4E and A. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, 3, 4, 1, and 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, 3, 4, 1, and 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, 3, 4, 1, and 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and a 1, and 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's it. Alright, so that should be relatively straightforward. Of course, if you are having issues with the bass rhythm there, feel free to write in any of those countings either above or below the music just to help you get along with the rhythm there. And of course, making sure that you are playing it at a nice slow tempo, so definitely slow it down, especially when it comes to that bar 21 there. It can be a little bit tricky to line up the 4E and especially when you're clapping. So always take your time. And now we're going to go and play it on with the flute. So before we play with the flute, make sure that you do check all of the notes here. I would highly recommend either circling or even highlighting or coloring the accidentals here. So when we have F sharp at bar 6 and then the F natural that comes back at bar 7, really making sure that you notice where those accidentals are. So when you're playing and you're looking ahead, it doesn't come out of the blue and surprise you. And then of course, if you want to cross-reference the notes and the names, you can check out the fingering chart that I have in my description of every single one of my videos. It'll help you to get the note there and then also the correct fingerings as well if you're not quite sure. Alright, so now we're going to play it with the flute. So a quarter note equals 104. 1, 2, 3, and... Very nice. So of course, if you're having issues with playing it that quickly, definitely go back and slow it down to a tempo where you are very comfortable, and then every day try and practice it at a point where you can slowly speed it up with the metronome until you're at a tempo where you are ready to perform it. Alright, so that's going to be it for today's video. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section down below, and also to check out my free practice guide, also linked in the description there. I just want to say thank you so much for joining me here today, and if you liked the video, please press like and subscribe for more videos just like this. So of course, thank you so much for joining me here today, and as always, happy fluting!